Hello and welcome to the interview. In the past year, India and Bangladesh have deepened their ties. And later this month, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi will travel to Dhaka for the 50th anniversary of the independence of Bangladesh. This will be a new chapter for this relationship. What does this visit mean for Bangladesh? To discuss this and more, we are joined by AK Abdul Momen, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Bangladesh. Mr. Momen, welcome to WION.
Thank you for inviting me.
Bangladesh is going to mark the 50th anniversary of its freedom. What message does your country want to send to the world on its Independence Day?
You see, we are observing the 50th anniversary. When Bangladesh was created, it was known as the bottomless basket with no hope of survival. And it had difficulties. It was known as a poor country with, disastrous multiple problems, land with hunger and poverty. But thanks God, over the last 50 years, we did very well. Now Bangladesh is no longer a basket case. It is a land of opportunity. It is a vibrant economy. You would be surprised to know over the last 12 years, our GDP growth rate was one of the highest in the world. In the year before last year, it was 8.2%. And even in the COVID, when other economies are suffering, we did pretty well. And here we have plenty of resources. One big resource is manpower resource, human resource. We have plenty of educated people and they are capable. All the ingredients that are necessary for good investment, Bangladesh has all the necessary ingredients for good investment. People are hardworking. Our return on investment is highest in the region, and the government is, this business friendly. The government is a very stable government. Over the last so many years, we have achieved some maturity in democratic values, in practicing democracy, and also in achieving sustainability. And once it was known a country without food, now we achieve self-sufficiency in food. So over the last 50 years, the development of Bangladesh has become a miracle. We have our women and men are working together. The education level enrollment in schools and colleges between man and female, basically boys and girls, is basically females are more than the male. And female people are actively involved in our development efforts. And therefore, we want to tell the whole world a couple of things. One is Bangladesh is a country that lives in peace and stability with its neighbors. It has good connectivity with all neighbors because we believe connectivity is productivity. Second, Bangladesh is a democratic country which has been practicing and a very stable government. Over the last year, we maintain very strong. And the rising star of Asia, because our economy has been doing an excellent job. And that's not. Future is also bright because we have a large population who are capable of achieving goals. And therefore, we are very proud on this 50th anniversary, while, we must tell all the critics that, Bangladesh is doing very well.
Right. Prime Minister Narendra Modi of India has chosen Bangladesh for his first foreign visit in 15 months. What is the significance of this visit for Bangladesh?
Thank you. Thank you for the question. Yes, the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, will be visiting Bangladesh on 26th and 27th of this month. To celebrate, he will join in our celebration two events. One is the Golden Jubilee of Bangladesh, the 50th anniversary of independence of Bangladesh, and the other one, the 100th birth anniversary of the father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. These are two great events for Bangladesh, and we are very lucky that the Indian Prime Minister would be visiting and will join us on this celebration. India and Bangladesh have rock-solid relationship. We have a social, cultural, the historical, strong bondage between two people, two nations. And even in our independence movement, it is India who came forward and helped us materially, mentally, physically everywhere. Even Indian soldiers shed blood for our independence movement. And therefore, we have developed a very strong relationship. And I'm so glad the Indian Prime Minister is making his first trip abroad since COVID to Bangladesh and is joining us in this great celebration of our independence and the centenary celebration of the Fatherhood Day. We are very proud. It shows to the world that Bangladesh is a country which believes in the connectivity, and it is a very strong relationship with all its neighbors. So not only the Indian Prime Minister is coming to Bangladesh to join us in these two celebrations, even the President of Nepal, the President of Maldives, the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, and of course, these 5 leaders, the regional leaders, they are joining us in our event. So we are very proud.
Recently, India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar also visited Bangladesh, and you had a chance to hold wide-ranging discussions with him. What were the takeaways from that discussion for you, and what are the key focus areas for India and Bangladesh right now as partners?
You see, the Indian Foreign Minister, he promised me in the last September when we did a virtual dialogue between two of us, Bangladesh and India. And he told me that if the COVID situation improved, he will make a visit to Bangladesh. And he kept his word. And I'm so thankful to him. During our discussion, we sorted out, we are neighboring countries, so always we have certain issues. All the major issues we have, by and large, have resolved through dialogue and discussion. And we have shown the world the maturity of leadership. I mean, what I call it, the height of the leadership maturity between Bangladesh and India, because we have resolved most of major problems through dialogue and discussions and through consensus. But we have still, since India is our next door neighbor, we have still certain little issues. For example, time to time there has been border killing. And in our discussion, we have taken a vow, both the governments, that, we don't want a single life to be lost in the border. And we will give necessary instructions. In principle, we don't want to see anyone gets killed in the border. And we said that, we also would like to see that we don't use lethal weapon in the bordering area. So that's a good one. We also, I believe, Bangladesh believes connectivity is productivity. We allowed the opening up of a bridge between Bangladesh and India. And our belief is through connectivity, our GDP will grow. As per the World Bank, it says that our GDP will increase manifold because of the connectivity. So we resolve those issues. Even when Prime Minister Modi would be here, there would be opening of some railway new lines, and including the passenger lines. And also we decided to open up the border, not only for roads, not only Bangladesh, India. We go beyond. India agreed that through Indian overland, there would be road connection from Bangladesh to Nepal, Bangladesh to Bhutan. So these are some of the issues we discussed. In addition, we discussed we would like to open up Bangladesh to the east of Asia, the ASEAN countries. India is building a road, India, Myanmar, and Thailand is building a road through them. We wanted to join that road, and India agreed to that. India will facilitate our journey in that road. The road would be India, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Thailand, and beyond. So we have these little issues, and we discuss. Our discussion was very amicable. We are very happy with it.
There's been a lot of movement on the infrastructure front, sir. This week, leaders of India and Bangladesh inaugurated a bridge, as you said, and several other development projects are in the works. What impact will these infrastructure projects have on the region as a whole?
You see, we want the whole region to improve their economic, upliftment. And one way to improve their economic upliftment is through developing infrastructure, because we have bottlenecks. So if we can reduce those bottlenecks, improve the infrastructure development, then infrastructure like India is helping us even with energy. India is helping us with some of the roads and railway infrastructure project, some port project. If we can get those done, as I said already, our GDP will grow up. Same with India's GDP will go up. Both countries, will be, in fact, whole region will be benefited. Cost of movement, goods movement from one area to the other will also be reduced. Now let's take one example. If something India wants to send from West Bengal to its seven sisters in Assam or the other place, they have to go through a long distance, few hundred kilometers they have to drive. But if they go through Bangladesh, they can reduce this distance by a few hundred miles. As a result, the cost of operation will go down. So it will be win-win for both the countries, and we have been working on those. However, India agreed to provide us a line of credit. Unfortunately, those implementation is very slow because of many bureaucratic hurdles. But we try to sort those out so that we can accelerate the process of implementation. Because we believe if we can implement those, it would be win-win for the people of both the countries.
Indeed, and a lot of headway has been made in the past year, but there are still outstanding issues between the two sides. And one of the major sticking points is the Tista water sharing pact. How are discussions going on that front? And do you believe that both sides can reach a resolution soon?
You know, we have Bangladesh. Bangladesh is a riverine country. You see, we have so many rivers, around 720 rivers. Around 54 rivers comes from India. So a large number of rivers come from India. There are few major rivers. We have made up a general framework agreement on sharing of waters of the major rivers. We are working on it. But the one mentioned, the Tista River, this is a big river. And actually, you'd be happy to know there has been an agreement between Bangladesh and India. You know, it was basically completed in 2011. And India stand by their agreement. We also stand by that agreement. Only the delivery has not been done. The implementation of that agreement has not been completed because of some Indian problem. They have, their local problems. I mean, federal government and state government problems. That's why it has not been. But India agreed. Even the Modi government agreed again and again. They said they stand by that agreement. So the problem is resolved. Only problem is it has not been implemented yet. We look forward to that. We hope. In fact, the other day when Foreign Minister Jaishankar was here, he said, let's keep our finger crossed, and I'm hoping soon those will be delivered, those will be implemented. And I'm hopeful always. I hope those will be implemented.
Cross-border migration has been another issue, and now the government of India has taken a strong position to curb illegal migration. Where does Bangladesh stand on this?
This is more of a perception, you see. Not many Bangladeshi go to India. But somehow there is a perception in India that Bangladesh is trying to move to India. There are some political utterances in some of the gatherings that if India opens up its border, Bangladeshi will go. No, Bangladesh is doing better, both in economics and in living. That you see, you will be surprised to know even the per capita income, even the life, the style of living, the longevity of Bangladeshis has gone up pretty significantly. And in Bangladesh, around 99% people uses improved sanitations. They have a better living. Why people from Bangladesh should move to India? There is no chance. Rather, people are coming from India. People are coming from India for job opportunities. Around 100,000 Indians are working in varieties of jobs in Bangladesh. You see, as I said, it's a land of opportunity. This is a normal thing where there is more job opportunity. People try to flock there. Look at people likes to go to USA. Why? Because there are job opportunities. In Bangladesh, we have plenty of job opportunities, and no wonder people are coming. Since there is job opportunity, why our guys should go to India where they will be finding difficulties? So this is a myth rather than actual. Not that many people from Bangladesh, goes to India for economic opportunities. I believe one day the whole of the Indian subcontinent will be, a visa-free subcontinent, when people will not need to have a visa or this sort of things, because we all want to, improve. When the economy of the entire region would be better, we don't need visa, then people can move just like the European Union.
Right. Illegal immigrants anyway don't wait for a visa, they just move. But you are saying here on the show that there are more Indians keen on moving to Bangladesh than Bangladeshis moving to India.
Yes, this is true.
Do you have numbers to back this? It's very interesting.
Yeah, because we see, even in our garment factories, for example, our garment is the largest exportable items. And in that, I'm told that around 100,000 of Indians work in those garments. They are professionally qualified. And that's why in our IT sector, large number of Indians are working because they are professionally qualified. And therefore, Bangladeshi business owners employ them.
According to most estimates, about 20 million illegal immigrants from Bangladesh live in India. But the issue of migration, we know, is a regional one. And Bangladesh has been dealing with the Rohingya refugee crisis since 2017. Do you think India and Bangladesh can work together to create a larger framework on migration and engage other partners in the region?
Of course, there are challenges. So therefore, we all have to work together. And if we work together, those challenges we can overcome. Now, you are asking for a regional, maybe in the future we look forward to it, that it is like, as I said, it could be like European Union, and there could be easy migration from one to the other places. And Bangladesh has already, Bangladesh is a very densely populated country, yet we have accommodated more than 1.1 million neighbors from Myanmar. They are Rohingya. 1.1 million Rohingya has been being sheltered in Bangladesh. When these people are being persecuted in their own land, being killed in their own land, then we open our border to give them temporary shelter. They're here. We all have to work, even including Myanmar, in such a way so that we can, because these people, human being is a very important resource, provided they are technically qualified, educationally qualified. So our effort would be to provide education, technical know-how, so that our people could be qualified and we can use that human resource for the well-being of the whole region, the entire region. And that's the world we're looking forward. We want a sustainable world of peace and stability. And those could be achieved by improving the human resources of the entire region.
While we are on the issue of Rohingyas, what do you make of the coup in Myanmar, and will the military takeover hurt the repatriation of Rohingyas from Bangladesh, in your opinion?
We don't know, because in the last, it's almost 4 years, we have been negotiating bilaterally with Myanmar. And Myanmar is our neighbor, they're a friendly country. They agreed to take their Rohingya back home. We asked them to provide them safety and security, and they agreed to provide safety and security. They also agreed to create conducive environment in the Rakhine province to take them back. But unfortunately, almost 4 years passed. There was lack of sincerity, and among the Rohingya, they don't trust their government. There is a trust deficit. Therefore, we suggested Myanmar, what they do, they should send their officials so that they speak to these Rohingya, these persecuted people. And in the process, they should develop the confidence level. Unfortunately, only one time they came and then they stopped. They did not come because these people bombarded them with questions. Then we requested them, Myanmar can do one thing. They can invite non-military civilian observers in the Rakhine province from their friendly countries like India, like Japan, like ASEAN, like China. We don't mind. Let a third, they bring some non-military civilian observers in the Rakhine province. In that case, we can tell the Rohingya that there is, some other people who will monitor your security and safety and mobility. But Rakhine didn't answer. The government did not answer. Anyway, we tried our best for the repatriation. We asked the UN, we asked our friend India, for example. We hope India, Japan, and others, they have big investors, China, then investors in Myanmar. Hopefully, they will request Myanmar government to come up with the promise they made and they repatriate their people. Now, if there is a new military government, and since then we have no communication with them, so we don't know what's happening. But hopefully, this government, we see in the television, the generals has visited some of the Rohingya camps in Rakhine province and assured them safety and security. These are good beginning. And to let you know that there has been military government earlier, even in Myanmar. This is a normal thing in Myanmar. There has been military government in Myanmar in 1992. And at the time, they repatriated around 200,000 Rohingya from Bangladesh. Out of 253,000, at the time, they took back around 230,000. Even before that, when there was military in 1978, around 200,000 Rohingya went back home. So it all depends on the political commitment of the government. Whoever is in the government, if there is a political commitment to repatriate their own national, provide them a decent living, then they will do it. We hope if there is it's not Bangladesh problem alone. It should be a problem of the global leadership, because our fear is if this Rohingya stay here for a very long without any hope, or they become very frustrated, then there is always a possibility of developing radicalism within this region. And if there are radicals, extremists or terrorists, then it becomes difficulty, not only for Bangladesh or Myanmar, for the whole region, including India. India in this whole region will suffer. And the countries which have invested in Myanmar, their investment will be at question. So therefore, it is the responsibility of all the countries of the world, especially all the regional leaders, to come forward and help repatriate and resolve this and bring about a durable solution of this exodus and persecution of Rohingya.
Last year, there was some friction in the China-Bangladesh relationship when Dhaka was asked to fund the trial of Chinese vaccines in the country. The trials did not go through, but the Chinese press blamed India for the decision by Bangladesh. Do you feel such unsubstantiated accusations are an attempt to hurt ties between India and Bangladesh?
You see, we have already said it, unsubstantiated. These are rumors, the stories we see in the media. But reality is, India is our age-old friend. We have a rock-solid relationship with India. And the Chinese have been a development partner. So we have good relations with them, and we maintain it. And these things that you see in the time to time in newspapers against one another, these are all newspaper items, not the reality. In fact, you see, as regards the vaccine, we're thankful to India because they have provided us 2 million vaccine as gift, and agreed we are buying around 30 million vaccine from India, AstraZeneca, and they agreed to provide them phase-wise. Each month we get around 5 million vaccines, and hope they will maintain the supply flow. But we also would if the Chinese vaccines are WHO approved, we have no reason not to accept those, because we have 165 million people. We are very lucky that we manage our COVID very efficiently. The media, just like yours, varieties of media projected that there will be 5 to 10 million people will die in Bangladesh due to COVID. You'll be happy to know the total fatality. We don't want a single fatality, but total cumulative fatality up to now is now 8,400. So we are lucky that we could manage this COVID very efficiently, and we are thankful to India for providing the vaccine, and we have been, giving vaccine to every citizen above the age of 40 free of cost.
Congratulations on the handling of the pandemic. And we were not part of the media that said that there will be 10 million fatalities. So I just want to make that clear.
You are not the one, but there are others.
I'm sure. You call China a development partner. Where does Bangladesh stand on the Belt and Road Initiative? And are you not worried about what's happening in the neighborhood vis-a-vis Chinese investments? Sri Lanka, for instance, where the overdependence on Chinese loans has created a debt burden.
No, we are not worried about it. Sri Lanka's problem is not only Chinese debt. They have a problem because they have been borrowing, right and left from the capital market for a long time. As a result, they borrowed only for that Hamburger only 1.2 billion. But they have been borrowing plenty of. India has borrowed 3.5 billion from China. It is not important. Important thing is how you manage your borrowing. Bangladesh is in a very good shape. Our total borrowing is from China is very little, around 6%. So we are not at all worried about it. We have Sri Lanka didn't have much reserve, foreign exchange reserve. So they were afraid. But we have plenty of foreign exchange reserves. So, and we are very prudent in managing the borrowing. So, and Sri Lanka started getting a loan at a market rate. But in our case, we are very careful about it. We don't borrow at the market rate. We borrow at a very lucrative rate, at a very preferable rate. And therefore, we are not afraid of this, what's happened to Sri Lanka. We are not afraid of this. As you know, our borrowing total is around 14% of the total GDP. And as per the IMF World Bank, if it exceeds 40% over, then you have to worry. We are long away, so we are not at all worried about it.
After the pandemic last year, Bangladesh has also emerged as a regional hub for manufacturing and trade, with several companies moving their facilities from China to Bangladesh. Do you think the global supply chains are shifting post the pandemic?
We would like to make Bangladesh a manufacturing hub. And because we have all the necessary resources here. We have human resources, hardworking. Our people are very hardworking, diligent, and they're quick learners. Many may not be graduates, but doesn't matter. They're quick learners. You show them, they know how to do it. All over the world, wherever our people works, they have earned a great name for their hard work and sincerity. So we would welcome investment. And what you said, that the companies moving away from China to Bangladesh, we'll welcome them. We are creating around 100 special economic zones. And there India has picked up 1 or 2 special economic zones for Indian investment. With the Saudi Arabia has picked up, South Korea has picked up. And we would like, other countries to pick up those, either whole economic zone or some. We will invite them. Here, return on investment is much higher. The government is very investment friendly, and we would like to promote more of foreign direct investment. And if the thing that you said, the companies are moving from China, that's most welcome. But we will not force them. They should come to make money, and it will help us. Look, the South Korean has picked up 1 economic zone, and they have around 30 companies has invested already. They have employed 30,000 of Bangladeshi people. But they are making money because whatever they're producing, they're exporting it to other countries, and we have provided them a very lucrative, the investment package. So we welcome any country who would like to come to Bangladesh, and I'm happy that many Indian companies are moving to Bangladesh to make money, and of course they are welcome.
Another key area of convergence between India and Bangladesh is the issue of fighting terror. And Dhaka has taken a strong position on the terrorist threat from Pakistan. How can regional powers collectively counter the threat of state-sponsored terrorism by Islamabad?
You see, in the area of terrorism, we have a very simple philosophy. We have zero tolerance to terrorism. And you will be happy to know we don't have any terrorists. And whatever terrorists we have a few years ago, basically we have managed it because we are very clear about it. Bangladesh cannot be a hub for any terrorist activity. And you know one reason we developed such a good relationship with India is that we don't allow any, terrorist in our land. We cannot be a hub. And there could be some countries who might, try to do it, but our position is very zero tolerance to terrorism. And therefore, we have earned a global name for it, global fame for it. And now the terrorists know there is no space, in Bangladesh for any terrorist. Does not matter for what reason. No, it's zero tolerance to terrorism.
Right. Mr. Momen, thank you very much for your time, sir, and for answering all our questions.
You are most welcome. Thank you.